Thousands of cigarettes seized in major smuggling crackdown. New technology transforms hospital waste management. People with disabilities advocate for dignified and inclusive language. Boxers return from Bali following successful fight night. Welcome back to RTTL World News. I'm Sony Madeira. Timor-Leste police have intercepted a Cambodian flag vessel carrying illegal cigarettes in the Timor Sea, arresting 5 Myanmar nationals and 2 Chinese nationals. With an increase in transnational crime in the country, security experts have called on the government to take serious action and strengthen national security policies.
Timor-Leste's authorities have intercepted an illegal cigarette smuggling operation in the Timor Sea.
For many weeks, our intelligence and maritime services from the Timor-Leste Defense Force, together with PNTL, have been monitoring the movement of a cargo ship sailing in the Timor Sea. The cargo is suspected of carrying illegal goods in the country.
While searching the vessel, police confiscated more than 2,500 cartons of illegal cigarettes.
These cigarettes are often circulated in our market in Dili, as well as in the municipalities.
Security watchdog Fundasan Mahin warned of the threat transnational crime poses to the country.
It's what we call a packets of organized crime or transnational crimes that will come invade our territory in a holistic way.
A day later, a police operation saw the arrest of the main perpetrator, a Chinese national, at his residence in Metiaut, Dili. Multiple pieces of evidence were seized, including cash and ammunition. The police also seized and searched a boat parked on his residence, believed to have been used to transport illegal cigarettes from Cambodia.
We suspect that the vessel normally operates out of Suai, Manatutu and Dili, and that illegal cigarettes circulating in Timor-Leste enter with the vessel.
Mr. Bello called for more investment in resources and stronger penalties to protect Timor-Leste's borders.
The message that when we detain the criminal that we capture, we are not really punished. This message sent to them that we are not really serious on this, so they can come in any time.
It's like a task for us, how to respond to the future. The government knows our work, what this state institution needs.
The perpetrators are currently being detained by the police for investigation. Zegeres, Cristóbal Silva, RTTL World News.
Timor-Leste is taking a major step towards safer health care after the Ministry of Health partnered with UNICEF to open a new medical waste management facility at the National Hospital in Dili. The new technology will also be installed in 5 regional hospitals throughout the country to manage sharp medical waste. Doctors say the tech will improve the way medical waste is processed and protect both the community and the environment.
For years, the National Hospital has relied on an incinerator to burn sharp medical waste before dumping it.
We have used incinerators for many years, and it produces pollution in the air. So now we use this new technology to be more friendly to the environment.
Healthcare workers generate both hazardous medical waste and non-medical trash in their daily work. Sharp waste alone is estimated at 40 kilograms a day.
We all know that people come to the hospital with various infectious diseases, so we must use this advanced machine to manage the medical waste and reduce risk for patients, health workers, and the community.
The new technology will also be installed in hospitals in Baucau, Maliana, Suai, Maubisi, and Okusi. The new microwave in the National Hospital has the capacity to treat 250 kilograms of sharp medical waste per day, while those in regional hospitals can treat only 100 kilograms.
This machine will sterilize and kill bacteria and viruses before we throw them in the landfill. So when you see medical waste in landfill, it has gone through this process.
Delivered by the United Nations Children's Fund Timor-Leste, UNICEF, the 6 new microwave appliances are valued at $800,000.
It's not good for the community if we don't have climate-sensitive waste management.
UNICEF's ongoing support will involve 2 years of equipment maintenance and capacity building for workers to operate the new microwaves.
It's not good to just give equipment, right? We have to know how to use the equipment and also to maintain the equipment. So we don't want this equipment to break down before its life value.
The machines can only be used to treat sharp medical waste, while other waste such as gloves, feeding and IV tubes, urine bags, and gauze swabs often end up in landfills with other non-medical waste. The National Hospital's medical waste is transported by a special truck and dumped at Tiber landfill.
The rubbish from the hospital is dumped here, but people dig the ground and bury it. We do not pick the medical waste. We only pick up the rubbish that has value, such as aluminum and cans.
In Aileu, the head of the Community Health Center confirmed to RTTL World News that most of its medical waste is dumped at the Aileu rubbish tip.
Our cleaners collect and burn non-medical waste, and for medical waste, they put it in a plastic garbage bag, and the rubbish collector picks it up and transports it to the landfill.
The health center has 2 traditional incinerators to burn sharp medical waste.
For sharp wastes like needles and glass vials, we have incinerators to destroy them here. We also have burned the sharp medical waste from other health centers like Liquidoi, Remisiu, and Laulara.
At Manatutu's landfill, RTTL World News discovered medical waste such as IV tubes and some medicines. While the new technology will help to reduce air pollution and manage sharp medical waste, smaller health centers continue to struggle to manage the medical waste on their own. Pauline Quintown, Judas Magno, RTTL World News.
People with disabilities in Timor-Leste are calling for greater respect and inclusion by challenging the language used to describe them. A community awareness campaign in Dili is encouraging people to choose respectful words and help break down discrimination.
A campaign in Timor-Leste is urging people to replace harmful stereotypes with respectful language for people with disabilities. Last week, Liman Hamutuk Rehabilitation Center gathered people with hearing impairments, students, researchers from Sydney University, the village chief, and national police to raise awareness of disability rights and promote greater inclusion within the local community.
We conducted this pedagogy with the objective of providing information to the community to use the right words, dignified, respect for people with disabilities.
The campaign aims to raise awareness about the importance of using respectful language when referring to people with disabilities.
I felt discrimination, like people say I'm stupid and can't speak. People call those with eye disabilities evil eyes. That's what I always hear from the community.
As a person with hearing disabilities, as well as a teacher in this organization, I feel this activity is very important. because often many people do not know how to use good words to speak to people with disabilities.
People who are hearing impaired and students shared information and brochures with the HERA community.
The card shows the example that we should respect the deficients by calling them, and it shows that sharing the cards that's full of example, it shares our wisdom to people that we could respect each other so much, especially for the deficients.
It's teach me how to be respect for them, like bring like bring hope for us, and bring us to teach us to how to be respect for disabilities people.
Respecting each other is important.
The event was supported by researchers from the University of Sydney, undertaking research in Timor-Leste on disability inclusion and employment opportunities for people with disability.
So I think that education piece is the really important one, because we need to change attitudes. When we change attitudes, we change behaviour.
And to have that change and to have society support people and realise that people with a disability are just humans like you would do fundamentally different things for their education and outright future.
The Liman Hamutuk Rehabilitation Center conducts similar campaigns every 3 months, but Ms. Boavida says progress is slow.
We go out to schools every 3 months, and we also have a program called Home Visit. We educate families, but we know that information is not enough, because families may be used to these behaviors. So we use this way. I believe they will use good and right words for people with disabilities.
According to Timor-Leste's most recent census, there are over 14,000 Timorese people living with a hearing impairment. The event was held in line with the Timorese government's commitment to the UN Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities, ensuring the people with disabilities are not left behind. Vicky Madeira, Judas Magno, RTTL World News.
Last week, the former president of the Aileu Municipality Authority was dismissed following allegations of sexual misconduct and abuse. Following the dismissal, human rights activist Bella Gallos joined RTTL World News reporter Paulina Quintão to discuss the allegations and the government's response. Ms. Gallos has spent decades advocating for justice and equality in Timor-Leste and says the allegations in Aileu highlight an ongoing systemic pattern of abuse by people in positions of power.
Manabela, the Aileu President Authority, was recently dismissed following allegations of abuse. What was your initial response to these allegations?
My initial reaction, I was very angry. I didn't like it when the people who are in power or have power, who's supposed to serve, who's supposed to be a good exemplar, who's supposed to serving, are manipulating, using their power to take advantage of people, particularly women. And worst of all, their staff in the office. And after you did what you did, you go in the public and try to humiliate a woman, mother, and your staff. You know, just to get the point that you are the one that's right, and you as a man, you have the rights to go ahead, do what you do. This is absolutely wrong. My reaction was I was furious, and I reacted in a way that I could in order to make people think about it. What if this has happened to your mother, or this is what happened if this happened to your sister or your own daughter?
So are there adequate protection for women who report abuse by people in positions of power?
Well, we have a justice system. There are many. We have many laws created. I'm sure that every laws are good. But when it's come to the process of implementation, this is where we find many victims. People are not satisfied. Maybe their cases are not, taken forward. Some cases are just dismissed. Some cases are seen as nothing or didn't have enough of evidence or ground to carry on. So this is something that from the justice system should be reflect on, because sometimes we take cases like sexual assault or sexual abuse as something like very light because it's so combined with the way our culture works, that men have the rights to do what they do. Our culture make men believe that a normal man can react sexually towards just anybody, even the person they don't know. And worst of all, if the person is subordinate, somebody's under their leadership, they can just expose them. If you're not, then you might lose your job. If you don't do what I wanted, you're not going to go up. This has happened in Timor. So I would like to take the chance to thank somebody like Mana Alda, who brave enough to bring this issue out to the surface for people to reflect on it and act on it.
So as you mentioned before that this case is not only cases that happen in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your message to the women who spoke out against these people in positions of power?
It's very hard to be completely independent and speak up against all the wrongdoings. But when somebody are encouraged, somebody are protected, the law are absolutely implemented, then yes, people might have the courage to do so. But here in East Timor, things are very complicated. Yeah, it's a very complex issue. We have the law, but not very implemented accordingly. And we have people who are supposed to be protect their people or serving their people are doing the other way around, the opposite. And then most of the time, they are safe because nobody speaks about it.
So what is your response to the government's dismantle of the President Authority?
Well, it's a good step that the government, through political parties, CNRT, decided to dismiss, Pamay Leon, Senor Bosco. It's a great step. But there are many Boscos out there who are not being touched, yeah? We know that. So I really think that our systems, our law systems, the justice system in East Timor must be more sensitive towards this kind of cases, but got to be also aggressively address this issue so that in the long run, just from now on, we don't see this kind of issue taking place, because it's like it's an issue that's so normal here. Sexual abuse, father abandoned mother, abandoned wife, abandoned children. It's a very common thing. And it's increasing in terms of numbers. If we're really talking about developing this country, taking this country forward, then we should not go halfway or just to show we did it, we did a great job. No. You have done a great step forward, but there are many more you need to do to put it in place that whoever going to be in the position in the future, they know that they cannot go up there holding a position and abuse the power and destroy people's lives.
Thank you, Mana, for talking to RTTL World News.
Thank you.
In international news, Sydney's new 24-hour international airport has opened the doors for its first customers. Earlier this week, planes carrying commercial freight took off from Western Sydney International. The airport's newly minted cargo precinct is expected to move millions of tons of air cargo annually.
It took 10,000 workers, $5.6 billion, and nearly 8 years to complete Western Sydney International Airport. And now it's ready.
From today, WSI is open for business.
With a welcome to country and water cannon, the airport and its staff can now officially spread their wings.
This is the gateway to the world, and the Western Sydney Gateway is now officially open, with freight flights moving goods, post and produce around the country and across the globe.
The airport's cargo precinct is promising to generate thousands of jobs and bring in billions of dollars in export revenue.
Think beef from Riverina, cherries from Young, blueberries from Coffs Harbour, oysters from the Hawkesbury, seafood from Foster.
Behind me are some of the 12 Qantas flights carrying 165,000 parcels to various destinations around the country, marking their maiden voyages out of Western Sydney International tonight, which officials say is only the beginning, as the precinct grows to its full capacity, serving up to 1.8 million tons of air cargo annually.
The 24-hour precinct will give us greater flexibility, more capacity and a platform for future growth, but also future economic activity.
The first passenger flights take off in October.
The Pacific Island community has come together in Adelaide for a Melanesian lullaby to bid farewell to cultural objects as the largest display of Pacific Island artifacts in the Southern Hemisphere is hibernating for restoration.
Bidding farewell to old friends.
I was just talking to them and reassuring them that they're going to be safe.
These wooden crocodiles and about 2,500 other artefacts to be retired to off-site storage as the South Australian Museum begins a years-long restoration project.
Because it's in a foreign land and I don't know what's going to happen to it. And I think not knowing the future of it, that makes me sad that they're going to put it to rest today.
A lot of these materials have been on display for a few decades now. Actually, even this hut has been here since 1936. And so it's our responsibility to now put these items to rest.
The collection will also be digitalised in 3D.
Having it preserved so that someone else, 10, 20 years from now, when we're all gone, the younger generation can come and still continue to enjoy these things.
This is the largest Melanesian display in Australia, but most of the items come from just one country, Papua New Guinea, from the late 19th century until the First World War.
The exciting piece of work that I'm really looking forward to doing is to really go out to the community and look at that region holistically and make sure that we have representation from across the region.
The space will be used for ticketed exhibitions in the meantime. Some fear the decision's motivated by funding.
I think the museum is desperate to have a space where they can attract blockbuster-type ticketed exhibitions.
The museum's assuring it's committed to bringing back an expanded collection in coming years.
In sport news, a team of championship boxers have returned to Delhi after representing Timor-Leste in Indonesia. Delio Mozinho and Daniel Desis Bello were two of 6 boxers representing Timor-Leste at Atlas Super Club in Bali and were welcomed back enthusiastically by families, friends and fans earlier this week.
From amateurs to champions. Delio Anjakesi Mozinho and Daniel de Assis Bello, both from El Matador Boxing Club, returned to Timor-Leste with their championship belts after defeating their Indonesian opponents. Hundreds of people, family, friends and fans welcomed them at the airport on Tuesday.
The 2 belts that Delio and Daniel won will be offered to our country, Timor-Leste, and continue to take the country forward. Although this result is small, it shows the world that through boxing, we Timorese can compete.
Since Delio was 2 years old, he always looked for meat because it helps him become a boxer. He decided his future, and as a father, I always support Delio 100% in his career.
The victories have inspired young Timorese fans and aspiring boxers.
The result that Delio and his fellow boxers achieved is a motivation for us new generation to compete in the future.
I feel very proud of Delhi's results. Hope that in the future Delhi and other boxers can continue to be champions and show Timor-Leste to the world.
The two belts Timor-Leste boxers won is not easy, but it marks a historical moment for Timor.
Delhi's manager said the fighter faced intense stress and expectation before stepping into the ring.
There was a lot of talk about it, a lot of stress, and there was a lot of pressure riding on that, but it was good to see that he was able to work through that pressure, continue to train hard, continue to focus, get in that ring and fight hard.
We are happy to see everyone come to receive us at the airport. This is the wish of all the people, the wish of all of us. Now we celebrate our victory.
Delhi city streets filled with more supporters, all wanting to catch a glimpse of their national boxing heroes. Fellow Timorese boxer Alcino de Almeida also won his bout, returning to Delhi on Wednesday. Vicky Madeira, Raimundo Conceição, RTTL World News.
And now tomorrow's weather, starting with Delhi. Partly cloudy with afternoon showers, a top temperature of 31 and a low of 21 degrees. Times of clouds and sun in Bokao, with a couple of showers in the afternoon, temperatures ranging between 28 and 18 degrees. In Lauten, some sun, turning cloudy with a couple of showers in the afternoon, a high of 28 and a low of 21 degrees. Cloudy with a couple of afternoon showers in Bobonaro, a top temperature of 28 and a low of 14. And in Aileo, mostly cloudy with a couple of afternoon showers, temperatures ranging between 26 and 13 degrees. Now looking abroad. In Kupan, times of clouds and sun, a high of 31 and a low of 22. Mostly cloudy in Bali with a couple of showers, temperatures ranging between 33 and 19 degrees. In Jakarta, partly cloudy with a couple of afternoon showers, a top of 33 and a low of 25. Hot, very humid and partly cloudy in Seoul, a high of 33 and a low of 26 degrees. In Darwin, mostly cloudy and breezy, temperatures ranging between 32 and 21 degrees. Sunny in Sydney, a high of 17 and a low of 9 degrees. Mostly sunny in Lisbon, temperatures ranging between 30 and 19 degrees. Sunny and pleasant in London, with a top temperature of 26 and a low of 15. And in Belfast, a steady breeze with clouds and sun, with brief afternoon showers, a top temperature of 18 and a low of 10 degrees. Thanks for joining us again on the program. RTTL World News will be back with more stories on Sunday. Bye for now.